sit there? Are you going to sit? All right, thank you for everybody coming. This is kind of tough. All right, that's better. All right, thank you for coming. Thank you for being here. We are going to start with the Pledge of Allegiance. If we can have Dallin Floyd and Charlie Macy come up and help lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. Y'all can please stand right over here, guys, right up here. Okay, go right ahead. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Let's give them a hand, please. Dallin and Charlie are the sons of two of our award recipients, Derek Floyd and Lieutenant Craig Macy. Start with our introductions. I will start here to my right, the Commissioner of Police, Byron C. Lockwood. Deputy Commissioner Barb Lark. And to my left, we have our Chief of Detectives, Dawn Kent. And seated down here further to the left is B District Chief Thelma Jones. C District Chief Alfonso Wright. Our Delta District Chief, Joseph Fahey. Our Edward District Chief, Carmen Menza. And our Chief of Schools, Aaron Young. And Captain Amber Beyer, who heads our behavioral health team. And my name is Joe Grimali. I'll be heading the ceremonies today. I'm the Deputy Commissioner of Operations. So I'd like to call up to the stage the President of Madai College, Dr. Kenneth Maker.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. As we say on this campus, it is a great day to be a Maverick. I am so glad you are here. I am so honored to represent Madai College in welcoming you to our amazing campus. The paths of Madai College and the Buffalo Police Department are pretty similar. 150 years ago, 147 years ago, Madai College started. Not as Madai, so we are 147 years old. It's year 150. We started as Mount St. Joseph's Institute, founded by the Congregation of the Sisters of St. Joseph. The mission was to educate the good sisters to be teachers in the private and public school system. And we did that until 1937, when the college received its first charter and became Mount St. Joseph's Teachers College. And we continued to do that for 30 more years until 1967-68, when the supply of nuns was dwindling. And the college took the bold step of changing its mission and opening its doors to traditional students from all over Western New York. And it was in 67-68 when we became Madai College. So an old history and a new history. So much has changed. If you have a chance, in the main building of the school, up the steps to the right, there is a picture from 1937 with about 300 of the good sisters who were then the first class and faculty of Mount St. Joseph's Teachers College. Like you all, we have changed over the years. We look different from then to now. We serve differently from then to now. And all the while, we continue to share the same mission, perhaps not in so many words, but we should continue to share it. The mission of Madai College is to educate and develop empowered individuals for academic achievement, career success, and civic engagement. thereby contributing to a healthy, diverse democracy. We developed that mission statement in 2015 and 16 when I came on as the 7th president of the college. And we very intentionally chose the word empowered individuals. We recognize that it is not our job to empower individuals because they come with that power as a gift. They are born with that, and it is our job to help them see it, find it, and nurture it. Just like you all do every day when you work in our community to help individuals in different situations. And we talked about empowered individuals, not students. We intentionally chose individuals because that mission applies to everybody, faculty, staff, and students. And in thinking about our contribution to a healthy, diverse democracy, how much more alike could we be compared to you? So on behalf of the faculty, staff, and students, I want to thank you for your service to the Buffalo community. Your members have graced our campus for many, many years. Our Director of Public Safety is one of your own, Chief Kelly, back in the corner. Mike Ross is one of the longer serving members of the Madai College Public Safety Office. And I had the amazing fortune to work with two amazing detectives about 3-4 years ago when we had to deal with a social media threat to the campus. So on an ongoing basis and when we need, we know we can count on you, and for that we are so grateful. On behalf of the college, congratulations on your anniversary. Congratulations to all of the recipients of the various awards you'll be bestowing today. A little housekeeping, you'll hear buzzers because we have a basketball game that's going to go on next door in the gym. The Board of Trustees is meeting in the room above us. That's where I need to head off to next. My 23 bosses. But again, thank you so much for all of the service that you do day in and day out to make Buffalo one of the best cities in the United States. Thank you and congratulations.
I think if you hear the buzzer, it's because the speeches are going too long, so that'll be the cue to go. On behalf of Commissioner Lockwood and Mayor Brown, who is trying to attend, he's trying to make his way up here, but as you can imagine, he's got a pretty jam-packed schedule today. But I would like to welcome all of the officers, their families, and friends to the Buffalo Police Department Awards Ceremony. This particular award ceremony is a special award ceremony. They are all very special, but this one has some particular meaning. This year is the Buffalo Police Department's 150th anniversary. There have been several events throughout the year to celebrate our history, including a series of departmental photographs. Over the last few months, each district has had an opportunity to have a picture taken in front of their respective commands. This morning, a department-wide photograph was held in front of City Hall. This was modeled after a picture that we have hanging in our building from 1933 after the third annual police mass, where several hundred officers were lined up in Niagara Square. It's a pretty impressive picture. It hangs in a frame that I would assume is probably also from 1933. It's a real opportunity to look at the nostalgia of the department and for future generations to look back on this. Commissioner Lockwood wanted the pictures to be taken so future generations can look back on the department of today. So we want to continue to make history. The Buffalo Police Department was established in 1871, taking over for what was previously known as the Niagara Frontier Police District, that oversaw not only Buffalo, but Tonawanda and Wheatfield. The first BPD force had 204 men. The first female officer was appointed prior to World War I, and the first black policeman was appointed in 1919. We are pleased to be a part of that history, and we are glad you are all here with us today to help us celebrate. Now on to the reason why we are here, to celebrate the selfless accomplishments of the members of this department, both the sworn staff and the professional civilian staff, as well as community members who have gone above and beyond to help their fellow citizens in need. Members of this department across the board go above and beyond on a daily basis to provide safety to the community that we serve. This is a group effort, and every member of this department is of the utmost importance, and we are here to recognize them for all they do on a daily basis. We're going to start with the Commissioner's Commendation. I'll call each group up. If you can come and stand up front with the Commissioner. Officers Daniel Aglinski, Joshua Slupinski, Jonathan Jackson, Detective Alan Ortiz, Lieutenant Bradford Pitts, and Lieutenant Ibrahim Abdul Wahid. And is Jonathan Negron in the crowd today? I'm sorry, I can't see. He couldn't make it? Okay. Okay. You guys all want to go line up across the front? The above personnel are being awarded for their outstanding police work and professionalism for the fast and life-saving actions they took for a fellow officer who was involved in a horrific accident during the pursuit of a vehicle involved in a call of a violent felony. On June 2nd, 2021, at approximately 1:15 p.m., Officer Jonathan Negron was seriously injured during a pursuit when a utility light pole was struck by the suspect vehicle, causing it to fall into the police car windshield, which struck Officer Negron in the head. The strike knocked him unconscious and caused very heavy head and facial wounds. Officer Aglinski and Slupinski pulled the critically injured officer from the patrol car and began to render first aid. Officer Aglinski is a seasoned combat medic with the U.S. Army, and his training played a valuable role in this. As Officer Aglinski and Slupinski continued to provide first aid by maintaining an open airway and attempting to control the bleeding as best they could, they were then assisted by Officer Jonathan Jackson, who was a New York State certified paramedic from his time with the Buffalo Fire Department. Knowing how long it can take for an ambulance to arrive, a decision was made to place the critically injured officer into the closest police car on scene and self-transport the injured officer. Detective A.J. Ortiz pulled on scene, and his car was immediately used to transport Officer Negron. Lieutenant Pitts and Abdul Wahid, along with Officer Jackson, carried the critically injured officer into Detective Ortiz's unmarked patrol vehicle and began the transport, with Officer Jonathan Jackson continuing to provide first aid and maintaining an open airway and pressure to the bleeding. Lieutenant Pitts was the driver of the car, with Detective Ortiz providing directions, clearing instructions, as well as coordinating the blocking of intersections on the radio. They transported Officer Negron to ECMC in rapid fashion. The ER trauma doctor came out at one point, where Officer Negron was being treated, and advised us that the quick actions taken by officers in making the decision to self-transport was very instrumental in his recovery. This could have taken a far worse turn if those fast actions of first aid and transport were not done. The doctor called these actions by these personnel in front of you life-saving. For their actions, Commissioner Lockwood is pleased to present these officers with the Commissioner's Commendation. We thank them for their service, and we are eternally grateful to them for saving Officer Jonathan Negron's life. Thank you. You all good with the photographs? All right, thank you very much. I'm sorry. And I'd be remiss if I didn't say everyone is watching the screen over here. Our photographer, Andy Nostrand, quickly put a bunch of pictures together so that we can have some photographs to look at. So thank you, Andy. All right, Officers Michael Goodspeed and Scott Aldinger, please come up. On July 6th, 2021, at approximately 9:35 p.m., the above officers responded to the shooting call where the victim was shot while inside of a vehicle and continued to drive that vehicle until he crashed into a front porch of a house. When Officers Goodspeed and Aldinger arrived, they found that the victim was bleeding heavily and quickly moved in to treatment measures by placing a tourniquet on the victim prior to an ambulance arriving on scene. The victim was transported to ECMC for further treatment, where the ER doctor advised the detectives that had the officers not provided first aid by placing a tourniquet on, the victim could have died. The ER doctor said again that these actions were life-saving. For their quick actions and the preservation of human life, the Commissioner Lockwood is pleased to present these officers with the Commissioner's Commendation. Officers Craig Stevens and Devin Cosilia. On June 11th, 2021, at 12:28 in the morning, a gun call was put out at 235 Woltz Avenue, was dispatched to Charlie District officers. A female had been carjacked by three males who all had guns. The three males drove off in her Dodge Charger. Officers Cosilia and Stevens spotted the gray Dodge Charger traveling northbound on Moselle near Genesee Street moments after the call was dispatched. They followed the vehicle at a safe distance, calling out the license plate over the radio, while other officers on scene were able to confirm the information that they had the correct vehicle. Officer Stevens then initiated his license sirens in an attempt to pull the vehicle over. The driver refused to pull over. Officer Stevens followed the vehicle, who again continued to refusing to pull over. The vehicle was not going excessively fast, but was disregarding traffic control devices. Officer Stevens kept an eye on the vehicle while making sure it was safe to stay behind it. Officer Cosilia called out the locations and direction of the vehicle. Both officers remained calm in an incredibly tense situation while the pursuit of three heavily armed individuals continued from the east side, worked its way downtown onto the 190, to the west side of Buffalo, and eventually ending after striking a barrier in front of the FBI building. Officers Stevens and Cosilia were able to apprehend all three males that were inside of the vehicle as they attempted to flee on foot. The FBI says they always get their man, but today it was our officers. Officers recovered 2 handguns and an AK-47 style weapon, along with a large amount of drugs, including crystal meth, ecstasy, and marijuana. Officers Stevens and Cosilia remained calm under intense pressure. Their keen eyes spotted this vehicle. Their police instincts and tactics made the end result a safe one for officers, the public, and the suspects. For their actions, Commissioner Lockwood is pleased to present them with the Commissioner's Commendation and congratulations. Officer Kyle Drusbeck, please come up. Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot. He was unable to attend today, but we're going to read through his scenario. On May 11, 2021, Officer Drusbeck along with officers from C District, responded to a person shot in the 1000 block of Broadway. Officer Druzbik saw the seriousness of the injury to the victim's leg and immediately placed a tourniquet on the affected area to stem the bleeding. After one of the medics had returned from the shooting scene to retrieve his vehicle that he had left so that he could ride in the ambulance, advised the supervisor on scene that the actions by Officer Druzbik saved the victim's life. The victim coded in the ambulance. However, medics were able to stabilize him. The bullet had struck a femoral artery, and without having that tourniquet placed on him, he would have bled out. And for his life-saving actions, his quick actions, Officer Druzbik, Commissioner Lockwood is pleased to present the Commissioner's Commendation. We'd like his chief to come up and accept on his behalf. Chief Elwright. Officer Alexander Brennan, please come up. Was he not able to make it? Okay. I know we had a few that were not able to make it. We'll read through his. On April 17th, 2021, shortly after 3 a.m., officers responded to multiple calls regarding a male stating that he thinks that he had murdered someone and had done something crazy. Officer Brennan, along with other officers, continued to patrol the area looking for this person until a follow-up call had come in regarding a female not breathing, which went out as a rescue call. Officer Brennan located a vehicle and approached with extreme caution as he observed a male in the car. The male followed the officer's orders and exited the vehicle and walked toward the officer while making some incriminating statements to the officer. Officer Brennan, knowing that something clearly was not right with the situation, but not yet knowing its full extent, followed his instincts and protocol, asking the person if he would sit in his patrol car, knowing that he couldn't let him leave. Officer Brennan was also very careful in his conversations with the male so as to not violate his constitutional rights. Upon further investigation, this was the male that the previous calls were about, and he had just committed a homicide with the victim still in that vehicle. Officer Brennan, being a probationary officer, coming upon this situation, did everything right, which would be very important in the follow-up homicide investigation. He didn't rush things, and he was very calm about the situation, taking this individual into custody. For his actions, Commissioner Lockwood is pleased to present him with the Commissioner's Commendation. And again, we'd like the Chief to come up and accept that award for him. Officers Stephen Zappy and Brendan Robinson, please come up. Oh, okay. Generally speaking, officers are recognized for their actions on a particular call, like some that you have heard today. Other times, it is because of a series of actions and accomplishments. In the case of these two officers, they are being commended for their work over the last 7 months. Since March 1st, 2021, these two officers have made 15 gun arrests. Recently, they have had 2 significant gun arrests. One involved an individual with a ghost gun, which directly led to 3 successful intelligence raids that brought in several more guns, illegal narcotics, and at least $45,000 in cash. Another involved a high-ranking gang member who had an outstanding warrant, was a convicted felon, and was in possession of an illegal handgun during his arrest. Arrests like these at times go well beyond the stop and the arrest. The spin-off effect that they have and their working relationship with the intelligence unit is what gets violent offenders off the streets. And they haven't stopped since they were notified of their warrant. They've made more gun arrests since that point, so they're still on a roll. For their dedication and hard work, Commissioner Lockwood is pleased to present them with the Commissioner's Commendation, and we congratulate them. All right, Lieutenant Craig Macy of the Special Investigations and Intelligence, and Detective Sergeant, who is now recently retired, Mike Mayola, Detectives Lucia Schultz, Mike Aquino, Joe Aquino, and Anthony Fanara. Please come up. The intelligence unit of the Buffalo Police Department is a small unit that deals directly with gangs and guns, the people who drive violent crime in our community. They are a very dedicated group of detectives that work many long hours around the clock, to the peril of their own personal lives at times. They respond to shootings at all hours and conduct gang packets on those involved in the shootings. They also have a significant network of contacts that lead to many search warrants for illegal guns. The Intel detectives in 2019 broke their own unit's record for gun seizures, and now in 2021 have already broken that record. We still have a couple months to go. They've well surpassed that number at this point with 151 gun arrests this year alone. While this is an incredible accomplishment, this tells us that there are far too many illegal guns flowing through our community, and with the members of this unit, as well as the entire police department, will continue to work to remove illegal guns. The dedication of this unit and its detectives are second to none. The unit was previously led by Detective Sergeant Mike Mayola for almost 4 years until his retirement last month, with over 25 years on the department, and we're glad that he was able to come back and join us today. His leadership and relationships with federal partners helped to make this unit what it is today. We congratulate the Sarge on his retirement and wish him many happy and healthy years to come. Lieutenant Macy, for almost 2 years now, has been assigned to the Commissioner's Office as in Special Investigations. This was a newly created position that Commissioner Lockwood put in place to address concerns related to anything that needed special attention, as well as issues related to gang violence. Lieutenant Macy did not have a boilerplate to work with. He had to create this position from scratch based on the Commissioner's original vision, and then took it so much further than that. One of the first things he did was to remove the silos that sometimes happen within district officers out there doing the groundwork and headquarters, to create a conduit of information while ensuring that the officers got the same flow of information back to them. This is extremely important, that officers know what is going on from the work they started and also feel like they are part of the solution. Lieutenant Macy started going out to the districts, identifying officers that like to do gang work, and crafted a significant working relationship with them that made them feel like they are part of this unit and the department's goals in reducing violent crime. It's also to have them see the work that they started cross the finish line. He responded to anything that is needed at any time without hesitation, and he has a tremendous wealth of knowledge. Lieutenant Macy was asked to be the department's immediate point of contact with the U.S. Attorney's Office, as well as for all federal agencies on the recent creation of Operation Viper, where the information that they need that is generated by our officers is put in their inbox before they wake up in the morning by Lieutenant Macy. For all of their selfless actions and dedication and very long hours, Commissioner Lockwood, to make our community a safer place, Commissioner Lockwood is pleased to present them with the Commissioner's Commendation. We congratulate them and we thank them. Thank you. Okay. All right, and I would like to introduce Mayor Byron Brown, who's been able to make our attendance. Okay, we're going to move on now to the Mayor's Awards. Right. Chief of Detectives Dawn Kent will be handling the Mayor's Awards.
Can Officer Michael Pankowitz and Hal Train come up? Is that good? On March 6, 2021, Officer Michael Pankowitz and Officer Hal Tran responded to a rescue call of an unresponsive 60-year-old male. Officers found the male on the floor not breathing and without a pulse. Officer Tran cleared the area around the male and Officer Pankowitz began CPR. After about 5 minutes of CPR, the male regained breathing and had a faint pulse. The officers continued to monitor the man's pulse and breathing as they waited for the arrival of the ambulance. The officers' quick action enabled the male to be transported to the hospital for further evaluation and medical care. For Officer Michael Pankowitz and Officer Hal Tran's heroic actions, they are presented with the Mayor's Award of Merit. It is? Okay, thank you. Officer Patrick Long. On March 20th, 2021, Officer Patrick Long answered a 911 call to assist a citizen. Ms. Rochelle Herring called the police for assistance regarding huge stones in her driveway, making it impossible for her to use her driveway. Her neighbors were responsible for their removal but had not removed them. Officer Long responded to the call, listened to Ms. Herring's concerns, and without hesitation, he moved the huge stones out of her driveway. In a letter of gratitude to the police department regarding Officer Long's response, Ms. Herring wrote the following: Patrick came to my door with so much respect and compassion. Boy, was I surprised. After speaking with him, he took care of the problem by getting down and dirty, removing the stones so I could get in and out of my driveway. I told him he was something special. He was just doing his job, he said. What a special young man. Please let him know that having compassion and respect will carry him a long way. Let him know that I was really impressed and thankful. For Officer Patrick Long's dedication to duty and community engagement, he is presented with the Mayor's Award of Merit. Debbie Lombardo. Oh, I'm sorry. Come on up. Didn't mean to rush you, Patrick. Debbie Lombardo is a great friend of the Buffalo Police Department and to the communities within the city of Buffalo. Debbie has been and continues to be instrumental in building and maintaining police-community relationships throughout the city. She regularly works with the police department's community police officers and the chiefs of each district. She is always readily available and never hesitates to assist the police department. The Buffalo Police District Community Days are largely successful because of Debbie's willingness to get involved. She secures donations, schedules vendors, recruits volunteers, and helps out at our Community Day events. She has also helped plan and coordinate past Buffalo Police 716 days. Debbie's true passion is forming and empowering block clubs. She strongly believes that the city can be improved one block at a time. She is the current president of the Board of Block Clubs and has helped establish many block clubs throughout the city. In addition, Debbie is largely responsible for securing the funding for the police department's first juvenile room located in the D District Station House and continues to play a role in securing donations for the same. She also attended Packed Buffalo Citizens Police Academy and now assists the police department with needs of the program. These are just a few examples of Debbie's involvement with the police department and the community. It is clear that she truly is all things community, and her value to the department and the city is immeasurable. For Debbie Lombardo's selfless involvement with the police department and the community, she is presented with the Mayor's Civilian Award of Merit. Excuse me one second. I apologize for that. Is Jacqueline Krull in the audience? Okay, we're going to award Miss Jacqueline Krull. She's a member of the community, and we're just going to read her award. She's not here. She's not attending. On May 19th, Ms. Jacqueline Krull contacted the Buffalo Police Department regarding an elderly neighbor. Ms. Krull noticed that mail was piling up at her elderly neighbor's home and that a door was slightly ajar. Ms. Krull requested that police do a welfare check. When officers went to the neighbor's home, they found evidence that led them to believe that the neighbor may need assistance. The officers gained entry to the home and found that the elderly neighbor had fallen, was incoherent, and needed immediate medical attention. Ms. Krull showed great care for her elderly neighbor and demonstrated a true sense of community by taking note of obscure occurrences and not ignoring the instinct to report them. Ms. Krull's actions saved the life of her neighbor. For these reasons, Ms. Jacqueline Krull is awarded the Mayor's Civilian Award of Merit. We're going to accept the award on her behalf. Another community member, and I don't believe, Anaya Mccrayer, are you in the audience? She was unable to attend. On September 16th, 12-year-old Anaya Mccrayer was a passenger on a school bus when the driver of the bus suffered a medical emergency and lost consciousness. Anaya, remembering how she was taught to respond to an emergency, quickly took action. She pushed the emergency stop button and then pushed the brake. Her swift thinking and heroic actions prevented the school bus from crashing into a pole and injuring the student passengers on the bus. For her bravery, Anaya Mccrayer is awarded the Mayor's Civilian Award of Merit. We will be accepting the award on her behalf. Buffalo Reserves Chief Cynthia Canty. The Buffalo Police Reserves, led by Chief Cynthia Canty, is made up of volunteer men and women who dedicate their free time to the noble causes of community, safety, and public well-being. They work diligently in expanding the reach of the Buffalo Police Department by providing support and assistance at many major events and initiatives throughout the city of Buffalo. This dedicated group of men and women has consistently worked side by side with Buffalo police officers and serve as a symbolic reminder of unity and cooperation. Today we recognize Buffalo Reserves Chief Cynthia Canty for her many years of leadership and service with the Reserves and for her coordinated efforts as a chief that efficiently and effectively assist the Buffalo Police Department. For these reasons, Chief Cynthia Canty is awarded the Mayor's Civilian Award of Merit. Buffalo Police Reserve Officer Thomas Jeremy Sumler. On April 24, 2021, Buffalo Police Reserve Officer Sumler was working security in downtown Buffalo when he observed a man abducting a female at gunpoint and taking off in a car. Officer Sumler quickly called 911 and helped responding officers by providing information on what he observed. Officer Sumler was able to provide officers with a detailed description of the persons and vehicle involved. Officer Sumler's swift action resulted in the officers quickly finding the vehicle, recovering a gun, and arresting the person involved before any harm came to the victim. For Officer Thomas Sumler's dedication and diligence, he is awarded the Mayor's Civilian Award of Merit. Report Technician Joyce De Giulio. RT Joyce De Giulio has been an integral part of the Buffalo Police Department for over 32 years. During the span of her career, Report Technician De Giulio has worked hard in many different positions, most notably working directly for 3 different commissioners. Her institutional knowledge has been and continues to be instrumental in departmental operations. Everyone who has been in the department long enough knows and understands that when a tough, obscure administrative question is raised, Joyce is the person to go to for the answer. And if she doesn't have the answer, she'll find it. Her commitment and dedication to the department is unmatched. Her value is immeasurable. And for her 32 years of exceptional loyalty and service, RT Joyce De Giulio is awarded the Civilian Distinguished Service Award. Report Technician Ruth Alvarado. Crime data has proven to be a valuable metric, not only for the Buffalo Police Department, but community groups and government officials as well. Ensuring the accuracy and timeliness of this data is a critical task that has been flawlessly supervised by Report Technician Ruth Alvarado. Most recently, Ruth oversaw the Buffalo Police Department's transition from the Uniform Crime Reporting System to the modernized National Incident-Based Reporting System. Ruth led the department through major upgrades to the records management system to facilitate this transition. Additionally, she trained all of the department members on the updated reporting platform, as well as 2 new members of the coding office, all while ensuring timely file submissions on the department's crime data. Only as a direct result of Ruth Alvarado's efforts was the Buffalo Police Department able to meet the federal deadline to transition to NIBRS. While accomplishing this transition under an aggressive timeline, Ruth has still maintained a less than 1% error rate on the nearly 2,500 crime reports reviewed and submitted each month by the coding office that she supervises. For her hard work, dedication, and commitment to the Buffalo Police Department, Report Technician Ruth Alvarado is awarded the Civilian Distinguished Service Award. Report Technician Kelly Gibbons-Glinsky could not be with us today. Report Technician Kelly Gibbons-Glinsky has been a report technician for Central Booking for 26 years. Throughout the years, she has been the guru of all things booking, acting as both a teacher for new report technicians and new officers. Her continued enthusiasm after so many years is unmatched by others in her position. There are many facets of the job that she knows and continues to teach. She is a wealth of knowledge and the go-to employee at Central Booking. For her hard work and dedication to the Buffalo Police Department, Report Technician Kelly Gibbons-Glinsky is awarded the Civilian Distinguished Service Award. And we'll be accepting that award on her behalf as well. Cell Block Attendant Christopher Scott. Cell block attendant Christopher Scott has been a cell block attendant since 2014. During this time, cell block attendant Scott has been an exemplary employee dedicated to perfecting his career, helping others, and going over and beyond by being a self-starter. He is the employee that requires no supervisory overwatch, the employee that day in and day out is at work on time, ready to work, and with the attitude that inspires others to do better. For these reasons, Cell Block Attendant Christopher Scott is recognized and awarded the Civilian Distinguished Service Award. I'm almost done. Never mind. Cell Block Attendant Kelly Pirro. Cell Block Attendant Kelly Pirro has worked at Central Booking since 2015. Cell Block Attendant Pirro is never shy to lend a hand in helping with difficult detainees, either by being the voice of reason that appealed to someone who was only looking to fight, or by being that cell block attendant that safely and strategically diffused a physically aggressive detainee. Her attention to her duties have helped keep numerous detainees safe from self-harm and have stopped those who have attempted to continue illegal activities while at cell block. It takes an astute attendant to see the slightest abnormality in a person's actions that may indicate that something is amiss. But Cell Block Attendant Pirro has that insight and is able to pick out such actions and act accordingly to make sure the detainee is safe and secure. Her work ethic, attention to detail, accountability, and inspiration are what makes her one of the best cell block attendants at Buffalo Police Central Booking. For these reasons, Cell Block Attendant Kelly Pirro is awarded the Civilian Distinguished Service Award. Maintenance Supervisor Kelly Defert. I'm sorry. Say it again. Durfert. I have it spelled wrong. Sorry. Maintenance Supervisor Kelly Durfert. Laborer Fred Lugo. Benjamin Franklin famously said, I need some water. If you want something done, ask a busy person. That axiom is on display every day at Buffalo Police Headquarters. Since August of 1995, Maintenance Supervisor Kelly Durfert is the busy person taking care of dozens of tasks on a daily basis. He quietly and efficiently handles the behind-the-scenes tasks that keep the Buffalo Police Department running smoothly. He cleans the buildings, orders the supplies, supervises the other laborers, moves the furniture, makes repairs to the facilities, and completes the countless special projects that crop up within the department. Regardless of what needs to be done, the solution always involves calling in Kelly. In September of 2012, the department was lucky enough to hire Fred Lugo to assist Kelly at police headquarters. Fred's work ethic matched Kelly's, and soon both guys were the dynamic duo that was called upon to keep the Buffalo Police Department running smoothly. The two employees who were jokingly referred to the Fred and Kelly Company coordinated the massive move from 74 Franklin Street to 68 Court Street. Working nights and weekends, Kelly and Fred moved police headquarters from one building to another without a disruption in operations. In June of this year, as Kelly was forced to take sick leave, Fred stepped in and all the work and the special projects continued to be handled. For their dedication and contributions to the Buffalo Police Department, Maintenance Supervisor Kelly Durford and Laborer Fred Lugo are awarded the Civilian Distinguished Service Award. Motor Equipment Mechanic Supervisor Michael Lakeman. Did I get that right? Thank you. In American culture, the name most closely associated with motor vehicles is the great industrialist Henry Ford. Mr. Ford is quoted as saying, "You can't build a reputation on what you are going to do." In the Buffalo Police Department, the name most closely associated with the fleet of motor vehicles is Garage Supervisor Michael Lakeman. Mike lives by Henry Ford's words every day. The reputation Mike has built as the one person who keeps the department's fleet of vehicles running is well documented. From patrol cars to the SWAT armored Bearcat to the command bus, all the vehicles operated by the Buffalo Police Department are on the road because Mike doesn't talk about what he is going to do, Mike just does it. From supervising the garage staff to ordering tools and equipment, from coordinating repairs with our vendors to overseeing the impound yard, he keeps everything moving in the right direction. We are often in awe of his skill as a multitasker. Mike gives 100% to the Buffalo Police Department every single day. For his hard work and dedication, Supervisor Michael Lakeman is awarded the Civilian Distinguished Service Award.
So I was told I have to speak close to the mic and speak up. Let me do my best. Good afternoon, everyone. So we're going to be presenting awardees for the Distinguished Service Award. Is Mrs. Muriel Adams present? Could you come up, please, ma'am? We're going to be presenting Mrs. Adams with the Distinguished Service Award for her husband, Police Officer Clarence Adams, posthumously. You could have a stand next to the commissioner, please. Officer Clarence Adams is being honored with the Distinguished Service Award posthumously, and receiving the award is his wife, Muriel Adams. Officer Clarence Adams joined the Buffalo Police Department. Before I move any further, Chief Menza, could you please come up as well? Chief Menza was very instrumental in us nominating Officer Adams for this award. Officer Adams joined the Buffalo Police Department on August 27, 1986, and retired on December 13, 2017. Officer Adams worked his entire career in Precinct 16 and E District on Bailey Avenue. He made many friends in the police department and on the streets of E District. He had a quiet but effective way of rendering services to the citizens of Buffalo. He had a quiet, I'm sorry, I already said that, he could rationalize with everyone. When talking to people on calls, he used hand gestures to make his point. Then he used a smile as a powerful persuasion to get them to comply. I witnessed this on many calls because I had the pleasure of working with Officer Adams for 16 years in E District. He was often teased by the guys on his platoon because you never saw Officer Adams when he wasn't wearing a cap or a hat. The guys would say, when in the locker room, that Clarence would switch his personal cap smoother and quicker than anyone. That transition would go something like this. So, Clarence made patrolling the streets on E District, on east side of Buffalo, for 31 years looked very easy. You never saw him angry. He took every call and incident in stride. He was a field training officer to many new officers, and he took every call and incident in stride. Clarence was tall in stature, kind in heart, giving, and compassionate. He loved sports. Actually, the only times we ever heard Clarence speak loudly is when he was teasing his fellow officers in Station House on Monday mornings after games on Sunday. He was a private person while on the job, and he went about his business of policing quietly and professionally. When he decided to retire, he did that privately as well. He didn't want a large retirement party, and he didn't want the attention. And after talking to several members of his family, I'm told that he handled his illness privately as well. When Clarence passed away in 2019, many of his friends and police officers were not given the opportunity to say goodbye to him. The Buffalo Police Department is honored to posthumously award Officer Clarence Adams with the Distinguished Service Award, and we thank his family for sharing him with us for so many years. Next, we have Community Police Officer Anthony Lebrun. Officer Lebrun has served with the Buffalo Police Department since 1989 and is known in the department as, quote, CPO, Community Police Officer. Tony has been a CPO for over 10 years and even started doing CPO-type duties before he was officially a CPO. He is the longest-running CPO in the department and has significant number of accomplishments, including a go-to trainer of all new CPOs in the department. He is the trainer in crime prevention through environmental design, or CPTED, which looks at buildings, houses, to see how they can be less of a location for crime to flourish, like cutting back shrubs, trees, improving lighting, stores removing items from their storefront windows, etc. Tony trains community members on CPTED concepts as well as trains his fellow officers. Tony is the city block club liaison, leads community forums, crafted and made the order to vacate process flow far better. This is used for problem tenants to assist landlords in getting evictions for drug dealing and other gang issues to help make neighborhoods safer. Tony has been a member of the crisis management team since 2017. This is the unit that is called in for barricaded and/or suicidal persons or hostage situations, and is the VP of the New York Association of Hostage Negotiations Western Region. Tony is also the head of the Buffalo Police Department's peer team that was created in 2014. He became the leader in 2017 and is currently has 16 members of this all-volunteer group. Let me stress this again, all-volunteer group. Of all of Tony's accomplishments and his work, he is absolutely most dedicated to the peer team. He is passionate about the mental health and welfare of members of this department. What our officers go through on a daily basis and what they see and do can cause many stressors that it can wear on you in silence and affect you deeply, as well as your family. Tony is very outspoken and has championed this cause to ensure that the members of this department know that they have someone to talk to, rely on, call on at any hour, and talk them through any problem that they may be going through. Tony put a glaring spotlight on the problem that was pushed aside for too many years. When tragedy strikes, Tony is one of the first to respond, not to the call, but to the officers of this department that responded to that call. Tony and his team are the helpline for officers. He and his team started post-critical incident debriefings after horrible incidents where officers can gather together and talk about what happened and provide any additional service that may be appropriate, and the feedback has been tremendous. The members of the department know they can rely on the services that Tony and his team can provide or direct them to, and also trust them. Tony has been to many trainings and received advanced certificates on this, and he does on his own time and own expense because he is so passionate. Tony's time on the department is on the back end, but his work with his fellow officers is not. We hope that he continues on his passion to help others well into his retirement when that time comes. For his dedication to helping not only his community, but to the officers in this department, Commissioner Lockwood would like to present him with the Distinguished Service Award. Thank you, Tony, for all you do for us. Next category is the Commissioner's Leadership Award. And may I have Captain Robert Lee come up, please? Captain Robert Lee has worked in many capacities in the department over his 25-year career. He has demonstrated leadership abilities in all of the positions he's held. Captain Lee was assigned to various units and districts over the span of his career. He was a community police officer before being promoted to lieutenant in C District, and was instrumental in organizing community events, working with businesses, block clubs, and schools. He trained his successor as a community police officer when he vacated the position due to his promotion. Captain Lee was assigned to D District and was Chief Fahey's right hand in the day-to-day operations of D District. While assigned to D District, Captain Lee continued to work with the community on various initiatives. This past year was challenging for the Buffalo Police Department. We've had to deal with COVID and protests, which oftentimes affected the morale of officers. Throughout COVID, Captain Lee did an awesome job of ensuring the district had adequate PPE and that cars and the districts were sanitized to reduce the spread of COVID. He leads by example, by demonstrating to younger officers how to perform tasks and services to the public while doing so with professionalism and integrity. His work ethic is infectious. He is viewed as a leader by officers and the administration because he is there for officers and they know that he has their well-being in mind. He's there for the administration. He's dependable and very much appreciated. Captain Lee has been known to say, "Don't worry about it, Chief. I got you." And if you're a chief or a commander that Captain Lee works for, you definitely don't have to worry. Captain Lee is a commander of the Special Events Unit. He's responsible for coordinating all special events for the city. He is also the commander of the Honor Guard. And I must say that the Buffalo Police Department has the best honor guard in the country. He is genuine and appreciated by all. He is a great example of everything a captain in the Buffalo Police Department should be. And for this, Captain Lee, the Commissioner, is presenting you with the Leadership Award. Congratulations. Lieutenant Joseph Safranski. Lieutenant Joseph Safranski is dedicated to the Buffalo Police Department and his love for the community. He serves as a testament to his character and is the foundation for his success as a respected leader. He exemplifies the mission and values of the department through his tireless work ethic and his commitment to community relations. Lieutenant Safranski never hesitates to take the lead or to make decisions. He is not satisfied until a task is complete, and he is relentless in the endeavor. He always ensures that the job gets done. He takes charge attitude. His take charge attitude is infectious and motivating and is evident in the work of the officers that he leads. He is an incredible asset to the people that he works for and to the department. Lieutenant Safranski's knowledge of the job is the reason officers often seek him out for answers to their questions. He uses the moments to guide the officers to come up with a solution on their own, as he recognizes the value in letting the officers think through a situation. He believes officers should work to their fullest potential, and he takes great pride in mentoring them. He is quick to recognize great work and equally as quick to hold officers accountable when they falter. He understands that a leader is only as good as the people he leads. He strives to be a great leader. Lieutenant Safranski understands the value and importance of having strong community relationships. Prior to being promoted to lieutenant, he served as a community police officer and made countless community connections. As a lieutenant, he continues to be a strong presence in the neighborhoods, schools, communities, and community centers. He stresses the importance of community to fellow officers and encourages them to be involved. He works with the community police officers and assists them with their responsibilities, including the planning of police-led community events. Community leaders and members respect him, trust him, and often call on him. He always responds with enthusiasm and professionalism. For your dedication to service, the Commissioner is awarding you with the Commissioner's Leadership Award. Congratulations. Lieutenant Safranski was supervised by former Chief of B District, Chief Kent, and is now supervised by Chief Thelma Jones. I'm going to ask Captain Amber Byer to come up and assist the Commissioner with the presenting of the next award category, De-Escalation Awards. Officer David Witasik. This nomination came to us from Caitlin Connors, who's a behavioral health team clinician. Officer David Witasik was called to assist in evaluating an individual that was displaying increased delusions, paranoia, agitation, and had recently made threats to his case manager. Upon arrival, the individual started to become irate, yelling obscenities and threats, and started to posture. Officer Witasik used verbal crisis de-escalation techniques and was able to get him to speak to everyone on scene in a calmer tone. The individual did not want to be seen by a doctor and did not want to go to ECMC for an evaluation. Mrs. Connors conferred with both Officer Witasik and Officer Sparacini, letting them know that he did indeed need to be transported on a 941, it's a mental health evaluation. Officer Witasik remained in the home with Ms. Connors while they spoke about him going to the hospital. Officer Witasik walked the individual out of the home as he remained calm and was cooperative, so much so that he was able to be transported in a patrol car instead of an ambulance. Due to the level of delusions, aggressive speech, and behaviors, this situation could have gone downhill very quickly. Due to the calm demeanor and use of verbal de-escalation and patience of Officer Witasik, this situation was resolved with the best possible outcome. Congratulations, Officer Witasik. Next we please have Officer Aaron McDowell come up? On March 22nd, 2021, at approximately 11:30 hours, officers from Delta District did respond to a call of a female that overdosed. The officers from Delta District, upon arrival, actually learned that the male caller was having a mental crisis. The individual did come out of the house with a black long gun, which was later determined to be a toy. The subject wanted police officers to shoot and kill him. Behavioral health team officer Aaron McDowell did respond to the scene. He engaged the individual and immediately developed a rapport with him. The subject became enraged and confrontational at times, but Officer McDowell remained calm and listened to the subject. Officer McDowell did successfully de-escalate the situation and was able to convince the subject to go to ECMC for an evaluation without incident. Officer McDowell is being recognized not only for this incident, but for the way he approaches his job every day. He not only does an outstanding job, but displays patience, kindness, and empathy for the citizens that he encounters. Officer McDowell, thank you for your dedication to the behavioral health team and your assistance to the citizens of Buffalo. Congratulations. Thank you, Captain Byer. I'm going to ask Chief Jones to come up and assist Commissioner with the presentation of this next award. And I have, the category is Community Service Award. Can I have Lieutenant Todd Mcallister come up, please? Chief Kent, you can come on down too. He was your lieutenant for quite some time. In early 2021, B District Lieutenant Todd Mcallister transferred from the midnight shift to the day shift. This transfer proved to be beneficial not only for the police department, but the community as well. Lieutenant Mcallister immediately took interest in B District's plans for community outreach and asked if he could be more involved. He quickly made contact with community stakeholders, and in a few short months, despite COVID restrictions still in place, Lieutenant Mcallister set up numerous community events for B District officers to participate in. His efforts resulted in B District officers presenting Easter baskets to families at the Salvation Army, pizzas to kids living at Compass House, and flowers and cards to mothers hospitalized at BGH and High Point on Mother's Day. For Father's Day, he recruited Buffalo Bill's Zach Moss to join B District officers in visiting fathers hospitalized at BGH on the very first day that COVID restrictions were lessened and patients could have visitors. In July, Lieutenant Mcallister had his platoon go to a Boys and Girls Club where they spent the afternoon engaging with the kids, and in August, he arranged for officers to visit patients at High Point Nursing Home. All of these events took place in a 4-month time span. Lieutenant Mcallister's commitment to the community extends beyond his on-duty engagement. Lieutenant Mcallister is president of his nonprofit organization, Children's Overcoming Police Stereotypes Through Sports, COPSS, that is committed to mentoring the youth of the city of Buffalo and fostering a relationship between the community and the Buffalo Police Department. He, along with other BPT officers, volunteer their time to invest in the future of the city and the youth in our communities. For this commitment, Lieutenant Mcallister is going to be awarded with the Community Service Award by the Commissioner. Thank you, Lieutenant Mcallister, for your service to the community. Thank you. Congratulations. Community Police Officers Derek Floyd and Angelo Threets, can you please join me, Chief Menza? Community Police Officers Derek Floyd and Angelo Threets have been members of the Buffalo Police Department for over 20 years. Most, if not all of this time, has been spent at the E District. And for at least the last 10 years, they have served as community police officers. Derek and Angelo both grew up on the east side of Buffalo and have spent their whole careers on the east side. They are great examples of the phrase coined by Sir Robert Peel, who said that the police are the public and the public are the police. As a community police officer, you build strong relationships with the community, and this is where Derek and Angelo shine. As lifelong members of the community and 20-plus years as police officers, they seem to know everyone, and everyone knows and likes them. They always greet the public with a kind smile and treat citizens with dignity and respect. They have been instrumental in working through the housing court system to remove violent people from our neighborhoods, which helps quickly restore peace and the quality of life to communities. They have formed great relationships with block clubs over the years. Derek and Angelo helped Chief Menza organize community days. They also transport and set up and break down all of the equipment for the community days, which include bounce houses and water slides for the kids, what is it, when they throw the ball and hit the officer and the officer falls into the water? Dunk tanks, all right. These two gentlemen make a great team, and they have been referred to some of the community as the dynamic duo. The main elements to community policing are positive interactions, partnerships, and problem solving. Derek and Angelo both excel in all of these areas. Congratulations, guys, to a job well done. Community Police Officer Christine Sikora, Chief Fahey. Okay. You've heard me speak about the key components of community policing: developing community partnerships, engaging in problem solving, and ensuring positive interactions between officers and the community. Community Police Officer Christine Sikora is another fine example of an officer fully committed to the responsibilities of that position. Delta District is fortunate to have Officer Sikora. She is a senior officer with 32 years of service who has taken these principles to heart. She has fully immersed herself into the district that she serves and is always willing to help, whether she is on the clock or at home. There are countless stories and events that Officer Sikora has been involved in for the benefit of the community that it would take me hours to name them all. Officer Sikora organized an awesome community day this summer on Hurdle Avenue next to D District, so much so that the commissioner and I, we attended it and we spoke about it several times about the great job she did, the number of vendors that were there to offer resources to the community, and the number of attendees that were there. CPO Sikora has been a wealth of knowledge and experience in mediating landlord, tenant, and neighbor disputes. Her efforts in community policing has improved the relationships between officers and the citizens that we serve. CPO Sikora has developed an amazing network of friends and associates throughout her time on the job, and they have partnered with her to improve the community. With the current climate of policing and the need now greater than ever to improve relations between police and community, CPO Sikora is a pioneer in that department, and she remains committed to ensuring our citizens are in good hands. Congratulations, Officer Sikora, on a job well done. Community Police Officer Shri Sowakodi, and Chief Wright. I don't want to slight CPO Sowakodi, but I'm going to call him Shri. CPO Shri, okay? Community Police Officer Shri always makes himself available to the community and goes above and beyond the scope of his duties for the citizens of C District. CPO Shri has been instrumental in organizing community days, a job fair, and food giveaways in his district. CPO Shri reached out to local businesses and his fellow officers of C District for food and school supply donations to be distributed to families in need. He set up Zoom meetings so that the chief and the community could stay connected and engaged during COVID. CPO Shri put together a PowerPoint presentation for the Buffalo Islamic Council on crime prevention. The presentation was so effective that it was distributed to other districts throughout the city to be used to train community members. CPO Shri acts as a liaison between the department and the fast-growing number of immigrant families moving into C District. He is fluent in several languages and is always willing to help whenever there may be a language barrier throughout the city. CPO Shri prides himself on educating the community on the resources available to them. He embodies the true spirit of community police officer. He is being awarded the Community Service Award for his dedication to duty, commitment to the community, and his professionalism. Congratulations, CPO Shri Sowakodi. Last but not least, Police Officer Hector Coco. Captain Champion is not able to be here today, or else I would have had him assist with all of these community policing awards. But he wishes you well and congratulates you, Officer Coco. Officer Coco is assigned to the Mayor's Impact Team. He has proven himself to be a valuable member of our department who works passionately and tirelessly, offering above and beyond service to the citizens of Buffalo. As a patrol officer, Hector always took methodical, and transparent approaches to his duties, which reflected the department's mission as he performed his duties while kindly informing any involved citizens what he was doing and explaining why, to ensure that they understood the interaction in its entirety. Hector could often be seen in the detective's office, attempting to expand his knowledge of criminal investigations and to improve his knowledge base and to assist him with any open investigations that they may have. He's also seen very often in Captain Champion's office when he's not working with the Mayor's Impact Team, trying to learn about what other community engagements and endeavors he may be able to assist in. Hector personally answers 311 call complaints, leaving citizens satisfied and praising his efforts. Hector Coco is a credit to the city of Buffalo and can be seen at many community events and programs as his schedule allows, proudly representing the Buffalo Police Department and ensuring the citizens receive outstanding service. For your dedication to community service, Officer Hector, we congratulate you. Thank you.
All right, that's going to conclude today's ceremonies. We want to thank Madai College, President Maker, Professor Liu, Debbie Kelly, Director of Security, and all of the security at Madai College for making sure we had a very smooth operation and all the setup. Thank you, Lieutenant Losi, RT Michelle Long, Jennifer Gonzalez, Margaret Overdorf, who is not here. They put all these awards together. They got everything all set up, and with the distribution, it would not have happened without everybody's help. Thank you very much. And everybody here, thank you for sharing in our 150th anniversary, one of the several events that we have had. We want to give one final recognition to all the awardees here today. We thank you for your dedication, your service. These honors are very well deserved. You know, they don't always come enough, but we want to say thank you for all you do. So thank you. And finally, thank you to the families who stand behind everybody here today. They cannot do what they do without the families supporting them, being there, and being understanding for them. So we hope everyone has a great rest of your day. Thank you, and thank you, Commissioner. I know. What's that? I tried to be in, but I didn't want to knock over those other mics.
Excuse me.
Yeah, off.
Vaccinated. Got the booster shot and everything.
I got the booster shot. I got everything. All right. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, beautiful. Gotta get over here.
Oh yeah, you know that.
Probably not do it all. That's cool.
It's better, yeah.
Let me get by you first.
Mask on off.
Your mask on.
Oh, okay. I always ask because I don't know whether they want to. You do.
Oh, y'all want me in that one? Oh.
Thank you. Shoot, I'm in that throat. Too late now. It popped off. All my guys boogie and stuff.
They boogied on you, yeah. You ever meet my sister? This is my baby sister.
How you doing?
Her husband worked at 7 O'clock. His name is Fox.
Oh, wow.
That's her husband.
Nice to meet you. You as well. Yes.
You're not going to make me talk.
Got to talk.
Yeah.
সুধী দর্শক মণ্ডলী, আসসালামু আলাইকুম। ফজল করিম বাফলো বাংলা ফেসবুক লাইভ থেকে আপনাদের সকলকে জানাচ্ছি অনেক শুভেচ্ছা। আপনারা এতক্ষণ দেখলেন বাফলো পুলিশ ডিপার্টমেন্টের 150 বছর পূর্তি উপলক্ষে অ্যাওয়ার্ড সেরেমনি। আমাদের সাথে আছেন চিফ ক্যান্টি বাফলো পুলিশ রিজার্ভের, ওনার সাথে আমরা এখন কথা বলবো। Congratulations, police chief.
Thank you.
You want to talk about the police reserve and the award ceremony today?
I just want to thank all of the reserves, especially the Buffalo Police Department and the mayor for honoring me as the Chief of Police for the Buffalo Police Reserve. We're on the move, so come and join us. If you would like to join the Buffalo Police Reserve, you can go on to our Facebook page and send in the application and fill it out, and we will go over it. It's a good organization. We're out to help the community and do whatever we can for the community. So thank you.
Thank you, Chief.
How did it look?
You did great. I'll see you later.
So tight.